Hi, everybody. I'm here with Philippe Machaz from Guest Centric. Hey, Philip, how are you?
Hi, Jeremiah, how are you?
I'm doing great today. And we're going to be talking about something that is really fun in this episode, which is to put guests inside the experience that you have to offer, to really show them that, this is the fun you're going to have. This is the things you're going to see and do. And this makes a ton of sense. I want you to think about shoes. What type of advertising do you see for a pair of Chanel shoes? You always see a beautiful model inside the shoe, right? They don't just sell the shoe, it's the whole lifestyle, it's the ambiance. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And to start off, I'm going to give you a real simple example of how a hotel over in Portugal, the Alex Boutique Hotel, is doing this. And I think you're going to really love this. Let me just share my screen really quickly. All right, can you see that, Philip?
Not yet. Yep.
Maybe I'm sharing the wrong screen. Just a second. Okay.
No, actually, I could see it in the background.
Okay. Let me share it. Okay, so I believe this is it. And
not yet.
Yep.
Yep. Now wait.
Okay, great.
Wait for a
so
second.
let's check out how they show their proximity to really cool things. As my computer slows down, it crashes.
It's kind of slow. I don't know what's going on there.
It's my computer. Well, these things do happen when you're streaming as well.
It's almost in the end. Almost the end.
It's almost unusable. So
yeah. Okay, good.
This is the end. You get to the beach here, and they just say, "Hey, this river is 200 meters from our hotel." So what they're doing here is they're just showing how close they are, and therefore, they're in the right place if you want to have a good time. Let me just turn this off. Okay. Sorry for the slow computer here. I'm using an old laptop. My recent one crashed, so I'm using this old one. So that's a really cool way to show proximity and really put people inside the experience. What do you think about this, Philip?
I think it's extremely important to again, going back to the Chanel shoes and the model, right? Most of the hotels that I work with, they tend to kind of like just show empty hotels. I know that's more expensive and challenging, creating images and showing pictures with people. But I think if you are a little bit creative, you can really try to use, and especially now the new tendencies of social media, right? You could use user-generated content, okay? And if you use it at the right channels, I think it really pays off. Obviously, maybe you are not using it to show at your rooms page a user-generated picture with like a family in the room that you are selling, but you can use it in a different way. And I think this is a great example where they are using the whatever smartphone camera, right? So super powerful nowadays, right? iPhone 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever. They have very sharp cameras, and you can do, I don't know, like you don't even need to go to one of these imaging editing or whatever movie editing softwares, because you can just get the feed from the camera, push it to YouTube, and just place it on the website. So literally, to do a video like that one that you try to show, obviously I recommend people to go to the website. It takes from zero to finish, I don't know, less than half an hour, maybe 1 hour. Okay, if you are not very into this YouTube / website design. But for me, it would take like maybe 15 minutes to do, right? So it's if I was at the hotel, so it's very easy to deploy, and I think it's again it brings the location into the hotel, and I think that's super important because again, location. If you are in a good location, you have obviously you can look at that at a very important point of sale. So I think that's super important, and actually it doesn't stop that, right? So that's the hotel doing that video, right? But you could be more creative, and I was just thinking about this hotel. I think it's in Miami that I was in Miami at this hotel that in front desk they had these GoPro cameras that you could grab one of them and just maybe, I don't know, we could show the latest camera so people are kind of like, wow, I need to test this camera, instead of just having there the oldest camera in the world. So you can get people who are really interested in photography or video to share their images of I don't know, their families, so you can bring them into social media, into the website. And I think that could be a great idea. I was just doing a website. I was working with this hotel, small hotel in Maine, in a harbor in Maine, beautiful harbor. And I was doing this. I was working on a page called Plan Your Visits, right? So if I'm going to the hotel, I want to go and check the lighthouses. And obviously, what we try to do, it's we use this as and I think you call this like bait pieces, right? So like, okay, what can at the hotel website, what can we show that generates interest before they actually travel? And these are kind of like the itinerary, like helping people to plan their visit. So I was working on this page, and obviously if there's user generated content in this page, like a small little video of the family in the lighthouse, it will be much more interesting than just showing images, even professional images of the lighthouses. You understand? Just to show it's possible for you and your family to go there and have a great time. That's why I like the topic. I think it's important. And I think you should incorporate this in your website and in your communication strategy, because the internet and social media, it's there it's there, and you have to use it. It's not an option nowadays. And obviously you could extend this to visits, to reviews, and actually bring the reviews into the website. And maybe, oh, did you like your stay? Oh, I loved your stay. Oh, would you mind doing a small little video with me, just sharing your experience in your hotel? And we'll put like a super easy, and obviously maybe 1 of 10. You'll use 1 in 10, but that one could be really valuable.
Yeah. And are there any considerations that people should have when they're doing this? I know there are certain legal considerations of using other people in your own marketing. Is there anything like that?
I think you need to request their authorization. But in terms of video, it's great because you can actually record their authorization. Do you understand? So you can record, hey, this may be used for X and Y purposes, and it will be recorded. It's on file, so it's fine. So it could be even easier. It's super easy just to get on video consent. Do you understand? And obviously you need their authorization. But I think everyone. I don't know. Obviously, there's some people that are not willing to share anything online, but I don't know. If you look at the internet, it's all about I don't know. It's all about personal lives. So, and this is just a fun moments. Do you understand? So, obviously, I don't want to share, and I'm not going to share kind of like that specific moment. I want to share like lively, happy moments of families together generically. It's not like that specific image. Showing that specific detail. It's more like generic things that I want to show. And maybe just a perspective, right? Because now it's interesting when you have people with very very powerful cameras on their phones, suddenly you have like different perspectives of images that are interesting to show. And obviously, if you could take advantage of that, it's great. I think I'd share this in terms of like, how can I share this image? One of the things, once I think I was in shopping at Whole Foods and I saw this beautiful cauliflower. Actually, it's on my Instagram. And I took an image, I tagged Whole Foods, and not even tagged. The location was Whole Foods La Jolla. And I immediately, like half an hour later, Whole Foods sent me a message, hey, would you mind using it? And I was like super excited. Wow, sure, use it. I'm not sure if it was used or not.
Yeah.
But just and actually this could be interesting because if you suddenly see a website that's sharing a moment, your moment, I would share with my friends, you understand? So you could get this viral effect that could be interesting for you to I don't know, to spread your message and experience.
Yeah, I was going to say that it influences how you share it with others. Sure. And then also it influences your decision making when you're going back to that area, right? If you have kind of a net positive feeling of sharing that cauliflower, you're going to choose Whole Foods over Vaughn's maybe. So that's kind of fun. Let's talk about looking at the clock. Maybe 3 more minutes. What are some easy, quick ways to get started?
I think we touched in a couple of them. I think the video that you showed, it's super easy. Again, like 15. I don't know, 15 for me, for you maybe, for you, Hotel Jeremiah. Also, very quickly you could set something like that.
For an hotel. Last Monday, it took me half an hour. It was fun. It's a fun project to do.
It's a project that you can do with your kids. You can do like high school. I don't know. Do you understand? So it's kind of like you can involve even my elementary, the kids in my they are in middle school. I don't know. They know more about cameras than me nowadays. Do you understand? Especially the phone cameras. So you could ask their help. Do you understand? So it should be super easy.
Just watch for consent.
To deploy. No, but this just leaving your hotel on a time-lapse mode on your camera, just walk to the best restaurant in town, just walk to the best beach in town, just walk, I don't know, to those key places that you want to share. That's super easy, and you can ask, I don't know, you don't really, it doesn't cost anything, basically.
Yeah.
So that's an easy one to do. I like the idea of having like maybe, I don't know, 2 cameras at the reception and sharing, share your moments. There's another example of an hotel that is really into surfing. So is in a surfing region. And they have a couple of GoPro cameras, and they are super nice, especially if it's related with water, because you can just use them in water right away with no risk at all of them managing the camera. And you could share that with customers, and eventually they'll share the moments of like, oh, my learning, I don't know, here's John from Phoenix learning how to surf. Do you understand? So you could create something cool, and everyone is really into video and social media. So I think that would be cool.
Yeah, even if it's not on your website, they're publishing it for themselves on their feeds and stuff like that. So you do have that viral effect. And also a jumping off idea that I wanted to share is that in Japan, they do a ton of shows that are just famous people walking around, going to restaurants, tasting things, looking around, and that's incredibly popular. People love to see what these walking tours look like. So, walk to that local cafe and then show what the best things there to offer, to order is. All these little things, it's entertainment for people. And, it shows that when they book with you, that they're going to get a good experience. This is exactly what you're going to get. And that looks fun, huh? Why don't you try it yourself? That's a really easy marketing message.
Sure. And I believe I think you are actually preparing the future. Do you understand? Because if I look at my kids, they don't watch TV. They watch the the vloggers, and I don't know, that's their thing, right? So they go on YouTube and they watch like this guy who's on this BMX bike that goes around the neighbor and goes and visits his friends. I don't know, it's all about the story told by this guy who's a very good BMXer. Do you understand? Obviously, if you have an hotel, so you can also, if you are really into this, you can try to do something like, okay, let's go, like with this little camera, let's go to my favorite cafe, and just try to engage somehow that way. And obviously, and Google loves that, right? Because Google owns YouTube, and YouTube loves that new user-generated content. And I think that could be really cool to do it also, to do.
Very true. And that also gets into personal branding. When you become that guy at your hotel that has shown people all the cool things to do, and then they actually come to your hotel and they see you and they shake your hand, people feel a little bit, you know, there's a fame factor there. So I think that's just good for anybody's career development. But that's all the time we have for today. I really love this idea, and I want to do more and more and more with this. It's a very fun project to do. So hopefully we'll do that for some tacos and beer. How's that, Philip?
Sure, definitely.
Okay, perfect. Let's do that. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Hope you're having a great day.
Thank you so much. Bye. Bye. Take care.
Bye. Talk to you soon.